So you want to own your own business. You want to be your own boss. Okay. How are you going to go about doing that? I mean, should you launch your own business from scratch, work on it from the ground up? Maybe buy a franchise opportunity. Maybe you buy a company that's already existing and doing well or doing okay. We need to take a closer look at each of these options so when it comes time, you can make the decision that's best for you, right? Because, like I always say, what's best for me, it's not best for you. That's why we do the research. So, we'll start off with building your own business. I mean, do you already have a business idea? Is it one that you're passionate about? Maybe you have a plan for doing something in a way that's never been done before, right? Called disrupting an industry, right? Or you're bringing a new invention to market. Or just maybe you don't like being told what to do. I can relate to that. And maybe you want to handle every aspect of your new business your way. If so, starting your business from scratch is probably the best way to go. If your business is truly groundbreaking, you probably can't find any existing business or franchise opportunity exactly like the one you envision. If you don't like following rules, you're not going to like the restrictions of franchising, even if you do find an opportunity similar to your idea. And if you enjoy building things from the ground up, you're definitely not going to want to deal with someone else's existing business. But here's the thing, starting from scratch is also a good option if you're on a limited budget, right? This way you get to shape your new business. And while you're shaping it, you can make it fit you, right? How much money that you have to put into it, right? How much time you have to put into it, right? Instead of meeting these financial requirements of buying a franchise or a going business, you get to build it up as fast as you can with what you have into whatever you want it to be. Sounds pretty good. Okay. Well, what about buying a business? Well, you want to be your own boss, but man, you really don't want to put in all that groundwork, huh? You don't want to work those, long hours for very little pay. You don't want to, do all the things that you see everyone complaining about online. Oh, I started this business, it didn't work, I lost all this money. Oh, I started this business and I'm barely breaking even and I'm working 14, 15 hours a day, right? You're just like, I see that, that's not what I want. That's fine, right? Maybe you just rather step into that leadership role, take charge of a business that's already doing well, right? Or maybe you could excel at turning around a struggling business or even expanding a smaller company into a big name, right? If that's you, buying an existing business could be just a ticket. I know that that's what I want to do, right? I don't want to put in a whole bunch of groundwork, but I also know that I have the ability to take businesses and make them bigger, right? Add value in, expand them a little bit, make them bigger, and that's what I want to do. So when you buy an existing business, you're going to take over all its assets and operations. You can even keep the same employees in place if you and those employees want. You could buy a business that's not doing so well, whose owner just wants to get out, or a thriving business whose owner is just simply ready for a life change. These are usually going to be, the older generation who is trying to sell their business to retire, right? Or, their kids don't want to carry on the business and they're trying to sell it. Or maybe they're just tired of being in that business, they want to sell it and do something else. It's a bunch of different reasons why someone would want to sell their business. Now, keep in mind, when you buy an existing business, you'll have to manage a transitional period and convince employees and partners and customers that you can run the business as well as, maybe even better than, the previous owner. Now, there's likely to be personnel challenges, right? You might need to replace some of those employees. God forbid, you might have to replace all of them. You really don't want to do that. Last but not least, buying an existing business can be expensive. However, if you have the necessary capital and do your due diligence beforehand, buying a business, it can be your ideal solution. Now, the last thing we want to talk about is we want to talk about these franchise opportunities. Now, a lot of people don't like franchises, but some of them they're not so bad. And buying a franchise can offer the ideal middle ground between starting from scratch and buying an existing business. Okay, so when you buy a franchise opportunity, you are buying a license to use a parent company's trademarks, systems, and their way of just doing business. In a lot of cases, you also receive training and ongoing support from that parent company, right? The franchisor. In return, you pay a franchise fee to launch your location, as well as ongoing fees and royalties. Buying a franchise can cost as little as 10, 12, $20,000 or as much as several $1,000,000. Right? So this method is suited for a big range of budgets. Now, as a franchisor, you'll be growing your new franchise from the ground up, but the franchisor will help with everything: choosing a location, buying inventory, training employees. I mean, they're going to help you with everything, and this can be extremely helpful if you lack experience in one or more areas of running a business. However, right, look, caveat, you're going to need to follow the systems and processes that the franchisor has put in place to deliver a uniform customer experience. Now, this might rub some people the wrong way, right? You still got to do the things the way the company does the things. You can't, you know, change too much really. You still got to be within their franchise rules. So, buying a franchise can be a good option if you know you want to be your own business and your own boss, right? But you're not sure what kind. So, pursuing the vast world of available franchise opportunities, I'm sure you might be able to find at least one that fits your skills, your interests, your experience. Again, so there's a lot of franchises out there. You just got to do your research, right? So, you can either buy a franchise, which is that middle ground, or build your own from the ground up, or you buy your own business, right? And buying a business can be very expensive, but it also, at the same time, it doesn't have to be. I'm sure there are a bunch of businesses. I mean, I've done a little research that you can buy businesses with seller financing and, pay over time, a little up front, pay over time. There's a bunch of different deals, but you'll never know unless you go look. So hopefully this is going to get you guys thinking about what it is you want to do and how you want to do it, right? So don't forget to go do your research on what it is, right? These three options are your main three options. So look into these, figure out what it is, and then start taking those steps towards your goals. Okay? I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate it if you did. But till I see you guys in the next one, y'all be safe.